How you doing? It's your boy Bitcoin Rodney, coming to you guys straight from inside the truck, heading to the grocery store. Are we going to Wegmans today? So why are we going to Wegmans today instead of working out? Because today is our workout day. However, I found out something very, very important. The most important thing about getting in shape is your diet, or what you eat. You are exactly what you eat. So myself, KC, the man behind the camera, and my trainer are on the way to Wegmans to pick out the proper things to eat on a daily basis so you don't starve your muscles, and so that you eat healthy, so you have everything inside your body to make sure that you produce the proper energy and the proper muscle. So get excited about that. Stay tuned. See you in a few minutes. Your boy Bitcoin Rodney coming to you guys from the parking lot of Wegmans. I'm here with my main man, Darrell Fitness, Hoorah Fitness, and we're gonna tell you what we're gonna go in here right now and buy for the body. Darrell, tell them what we need for the body.
Absolutely, guys. We going in here today, bro. We're getting ready to give Mr. Bitcoin Rodney on this nice, vicious meal plan. He has no idea what he's looking to get himself into, guys, but we're ready to get it.
I do have an idea.
Alrighty then.
We're going to get his insides tight, guys. We're going to get his body tight, get his mind right.
Think my insides are bad?
We're going to get everything back. Most importantly, guys, we ain't going to come out with a lot of stuff. We're going to come out with just what he needs, because the whole thing about once you get on meal plans and just start feeding yourself nutritiously, you don't want a whole lot of food. You don't want to have food that's lasting beyond a week, because it ain't real food. In that case, there's too many hormones and all types of chemicals inside, so we're going to get just enough for him to eat according to his lifestyle. So stay tuned. Watch this flow.
See you in a minute.
What I love about Wegmans, as soon as you come in, they tell you what's important. Look at it. Right here. This is how you're supposed to be. This is how we supposed to be. Our neighborhoods. Get out of 7-Eleven. Stop going to those gas stations. Come to a real store, real grocery store. Leave Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, and Subway alone.
Anything with a leg.
Stay away.
Yeah.
What we gotta get first?
That's the
Oh, you a blackberry or blueberry guy?
I like it all.
I like the blueberries and the blackberries first.
I think we're gonna get the organic ones though.
We're gonna come down to the organic section.
Yeah. All I eat is organic. He just said that the regular fruit has too much sugar in it, and we need more of the berry because it's natural or what?
Natural. Most fruit have a lot of sugar in it, guys. And remember, sugar is bad. Whether it's good sugar or bad sugar, sugar is bad for you, period.
Why is sugar bad? What does it do to you?
It metabolizes into fat. That's point number one. It metabolizes into fat. Fat is the killer. We want to do everything we can to combat the fat, right? And so, combat the fat. So we got to stay in front of it. And so if you are going to use sugar, you want to make sure you use it and being purposeful with it. At least try to get the better kind. So stay away from the bananas.
Bananas?
Stay away from the bananas.
Potassium.
You got more sugar than potassium. Look, it's more potassium. Do your homework. It's more potassium in Reese's Pieces than it is in bananas.
Well, I like Reese's Pieces.
Stay away from that too. You don't need that. And definitely stay away from the watermelon. Bananas are pretty cool if you're gonna use it like right when you get done working out. You can use it to reboot yourself and all that. But I mean, if you're just eating it casually, it's not a good food to eat. Too much sugar in it, for sure. Not enough potassium to equate to the amount of sugar that you get inside.
Purchase your produce. If it starts with a 4, see the PLU code. See this 4? That means it's not organic. All right? If it starts with a 9, that means it's fine. So if it's a 4, throw it on the floor. If it starts with a 9, that means it's fine. So it's called a PLU code. So you can go Google what PLU codes are. That tells you what your produce, if it's really, really organic or not.
Bitcoin Rodney tip of the day.
Yeah.
So I heard broccoli isn't good to eat. Is that true? Is that a good vegetable to eat?
It's not necessarily the best thing to eat. I don't want to knock broccoli because I mean, a lot of kids out there eat broccoli. So it's just that it's not a whole lot of benefits as they made us believe growing up. So I mean, it's one of those things that it just sits. It's not doing a whole lot of benefits to the body, but it's not a bad thing for you. But
I don't know about that. I hate broccoli, and I don't like cauliflower either. Because it's a man-made vegetable.
And that's why I asked. That's what I heard.
And even carrots. Carrots aren't actually really orange. Carrots are actually purple. This is made between a carrot and an orange mixed together. But like you said, it's not bad, but it ain't good for you either.
Think about it, guys. Everything we need for our body should come from the ground.
Right.
Point blank period. We are now entering the danger zone. All the aisles, all the boxes where they lie to you on the front of the box. And most people aren't smart enough to read the back of the box where the real nutrition is. So this is where you want to try to stay away from. Most people spend most of their time in and out the aisles. But when shopping, Wegmans pretty different. Well, you got to hit the perimeter first. Hit the perimeter, and then get in and out of the aisles quick. Get in and out. But you cannot live in these aisles. These aisles will get you sick and jacked up. You don't need to be in these aisles.
Now, one thing I told about Wegmans, though, they have plant-based aisles, too.
Big size store.
Right.
So guys, for the purposes of this video, this is a great store to be in, but not everyone has access to have a store like this in their neighborhood. And so some of this information we're talking about is what you need to do in the event that you're in your neighborhood store, which is hit the perimeter first and then get in and out of the aisles quick. But again, if you have an opportunity to go to a Wegmans or Trader Joe's or something like that, you find that they have more options in the aisles, plant-based items, the proteins and things like that. So it's definitely a much better store, but that's not the norm for most places. Also, when it comes to getting your vegetables, obviously try to go fresh first, organic as you know. For fresh first, frozen second, and then canned last. You know, depending on what your budget is, because you may have to go canned. And if you do have to go canned, just make sure you rinse it off, get all that sodium and that gook off of it. The same thing with frozen. But fresh, frozen, then canned. Just another quick tip.
When you say gook, you mean like the syrup and all the stuff that's in there?
All the stuff they pack it with to keep it preserved.
Right.
All the preservatives.
You know, a lot of these honeys that you go out here and you buy, like some of the ones that are clear, there's actually very little or no pollen inside the honey. You need to have pollen inside your actual honey. Like Manuka honey has a very, very, very high pollen count. It is a bee from New Zealand. And it's really hard to find real honey for real. If you do your research, you'll find out that honey is one of the most super foods in the entire world. Back in the day, Egyptians used honey to heal everything. I mean, they put it on mummies, they put it on their bodies, everything. And they use it for all kinds of good things, like things I don't want to talk about on the camera.
So what do you say to the people that, you know, come down this aisle and think that they're eating right? What do you say for these plant-based chips?
Or ain't that a plant-based chips in general? I think in order to buy this, you need to have good discipline. You can't just eat this. Remember, this is still empty calories. This is not like going to add any real nutrition or benefits to your organs. So this is just like, let me feel good type food. You know what I'm saying? It's not as bad. I'll say that about a lot of stuff, but guess what? It's still not good. It's still bad.
Right.
So which one of these chips is good?
If I'm gonna get some chips, I'm gonna get Lay's. I'm gonna keep it real. I eat that stuff too. I'm not saying I don't, but you just gotta, you know, within moderation. You can't eat too much of anything.
Right.
And then if you got some real goals, like we know Rodney do right now, we don't even really need to be talking about snack food.
All right.
But you know, we gotta also still kind of keep him within his footprint, because I don't want him to be going crazy and tearing up his house because he don't have nothing in there sweet to eat. Because he probably got sweet to eat.
I think one thing is important to understand is that you want to be able to curb somebody's diet and eating, but you don't want to feel them to feel bad about doing it. You know, them be happy so they can continue doing it as a lifestyle. Am I correct?
Okay, so we use a process, we call it peel back the onion slowly, one layer at a time. You know what I'm saying? So if it's changing how much food you eat, then we go and change it how often you eat, and maybe we look at, you know, the quantity of food you eat. And then we start looking at the type of food you eat. So many layers to food in itself. We got to look at the goals first instead of a real strong belief system. Once we get that belief system in place, two questions you got to ask yourself. Am I able to do this? Do I really believe I'm able to do it? And number two, am I willing to do whatever it takes? And once you commit to both of those, you hit your goals over and over again.
How often should a person eat, you know, when they're trying to get themselves right?
You know, so it's a couple different ways you can do it. It just depends on what the overall goal is. I first think that most people should try to get into IM or intermittent fasting. I think it's just some natural benefits that come from that. You give a chance for your body to feed off of the stored fat, get it out your system so you can get rid of that, number one. Number two, and if you, depending on how many hours you're gonna fast, it's gonna leave you a remainder of, I don't know, anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. So for me, I fast about 16 hours. I leave myself about 8 hours of feeding time. And in that 8 hours, I try to get about anywhere from 5 to 6, sometimes 7 meals in. When I say meals, they're very small meals. It's not a lot of food that you eat. Remember, guys, here's the thing. You're not eating to get full. You're eating to be fueled. Follow me? I'm gonna say it again. You're not eating to get full, more so to be fueled. The average piece of food that goes in your mouth takes about 15 minutes to get down into your stomach for you to really feel it. Most people, unfortunately, eat for 15 straight minutes until they feel it. The next thing you know, you got like an assembly line filled with food, and now you got a slow digestive system, and you're backed up, your insulin levels are high and spiked and all that stuff. So fuel yourself. If you walk away, put some water in, you'll feel great. You don't need to keep eating until you feel like, oh, I gotta unbuckle my pants. That's actually like a side effect. You follow what I'm saying? That's like, I think it's just too much intake, just a little bit. You wanna keep going throughout the day, every 2 hours, hour and a half, depending on your lifestyle. Now, if you're a person that's sitting down all the time, you don't need as much food. You don't need to eat that often because you're not burning it off. You gotta look at your lifestyle and then measure out how often I'm gonna eat based on how I'm moving. Case in point, if I was a construction worker, I'm banging bricks and picking up stuff all day, I'm burning a lot of calories. So guess what? I gotta keep eating or I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna have like a hyperglycemic episode, like I'm about to pass out, so I gotta eat. But if I'm sitting behind a desk for 8 to 10 hours and I'm not doing anything, I wanna be a little bit more casual with my food and not eat as much food and definitely be more selective with the food. So it varies for people, but I mean, if you definitely want to learn about what I can do for you, hit me up, DarrellJordanFitness.com. We can talk about it, have a consult, have a conversation. But for sure, you want to make sure you are fasting first, and then just kind of measure out your day and look at your overall lifestyle and make it happen. Peace.